So if you see, so first of all, we want to know, right, what is a function and in which scenarios we are going to use it. So if you see, if a group of statement is repeatedly required, then it's not recommended to write these statements every time separately. So still now we saw like looping, right? Looping, the purpose of looping also same like what we do. So if I need to repeat a statement or a set of statement multiple times, instead of writing them multiple times, I can use looping. So here also, but here the place is different. There in same place you need to write the code multiple times. But in case of functions, based on your requirement, you need to write at beginning of the code and in middle of the code and at end of the code. So it's required to place in separate places. Okay, it's required to place the code in separate places, correct?
Okay.
For example, in each class, you can consider class, and in each class, you need to check, right, if the person is person's gender, like if the male or female. So in each class, you need to check and you need to know their gender, correct?
Yeah.
So here, see, the place is gonna change. So first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth standard, the place is going to be changed. Okay, so here is also same. Even in some other programs also, like if you write function in one program, you can call the same function in another program. Okay, in
Okay.
one file you write the code. You can call that in another py file as well. But the looping one, if you write here, like in one program, you can't call it in another program. Okay, and even in program itself, if you want to repeat some set of statements or one statement in multiple places, then it's better to use function, not looping. Okay, clear?
Can you come again?
So in a program, you defined or you write code for one function. Okay, you write code for one function, and if you want to call that in another program, like one py file. Okay, for example, see, this is what I'm telling. So you write code in, you define a function in dix.py, but you want to call the same function in this exe.py. Yes, you can call. Okay.
Okay.
One second, I'm getting call. One second. Sorry.
Okay. No problem.
If you see, I need, okay, I have some set of statements. For example, you can consider these three statements, and these three statements you need to use here in beginning of the function. And sometimes you need to here use in middle of the program, use at end of the program. So the place is also going to change. The set of statements same, the same statements, okay. But the set of statements you need to, or you want to use in different places. Okay. At that time, we are going to use functions. Even if you define a function inside this dix.py, you can call that in any other programs also. You can call it. That is possible with the help of functions only. Okay,
Okay.
clear?
Yes.
So if you see, we have to define this statement as a single unit, and we can call that unit any number of times based on the requirement without rewriting. So same like we wrap the code inside for loop, right? In the same way, we are going to put all the code or all the statements that we want to repeat in one function, okay, without rewriting. And you can call that number of times, like you can use it any number of times. There is no any specific limit to use. You can use that any number of times. Okay, without rewriting, you can use it any number of times. and that is nothing but function. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me explain you with the help of code. Okay, so we can define a function using def keyword. Okay. And then it's going to take the function name. You can give any function name. Okay, you can give any function name. And finally, some parameters listed will be. Before that, I want to explain one thing. So there are two types of functions, okay? There are two types of functions.
Okay.
One is user defined. And second is built-in. Okay, built-in we saw so many things, built-in types like ID, type, set, tuple, dictionary. These are all are built-in types. We don't need to write the code, just we can reuse those. We can use ID as number of times as I want. You can use type as number of times as I want, right? You don't need to do anything. You can simply calling and you are using. Calling means we are using that's why in programmatic words what we can say, if you are using some function, we are going to tell you called it. Okay,
Okay.
we're calling the function. Okay, and user defines, these are like custom functions. Okay, custom functions, okay, which are defined by the user.
Sure.
The user going to write the function. Okay, these are all built in, you can use them, but here we need to define, or we need to write the code for function on our own. Okay, that's why we are calling those as user defined, which are written by the user, which are going to define by the user. Okay, based on their requirements. Okay, and to do that, the syntax is def, the keyword, def is a keyword, and then function name. You can give any function name, and if you want to give any parameters, you can give, or if you want to take a empty list, yes, you can do with empty. Okay, and colon. So this is the syntax of the function. Def. Def is used to define the function, and it is a keyword specifically to define functions. And function name, you can give any custom name, and parameters. Okay, if you want to perform, you want to do like you want to do addition of two numbers, at that time you need to pass two variables, right? And the two variables, if you are passing here inside these braces, now we are going to call those as parameters. So whatever data you are passing to the function, that we are going to call as parameters. Clear? What is parameter? Okay, and let me define a basic, just I want to print hello, but with the help of function I want to do def. Okay, def, and I have my function name is, I can take print hello, because my program is print hello, sorry, my requirement is print hello. So yeah, same thing, like based on your requirement. For example, if you want to do addition of two numbers, you can give your function name as addition, like that. For print
Okay.
hello, I don't want to pass any parameters, because just simply I want to print hello world. Okay, save it. And now if you won't call the function, this is like function definition, okay? This is function definition. But if you call it, then only it's going to execute. You define the function, that's fine. Without calling, it won't give you any output. It won't do anything. It won't give you any output. Why? Because you didn't call this function. So how we can call a function? With the help of name. Calling function. Just give print. And here I didn't pass any parameters, right? So just simply empty braces. Save it. You got the output. Okay.
Okay.
And specifically, every time we are not going to use print statement here. Okay. We are going to use return statement in most of the functions. Okay. Let me explain return statement. So return, it's by work it's telling. So it's going to return you some data. But with functions, instead of print statements inside a function, you can, if you use return, okay, you should store that data in some variable and you then print it. Or else you can print that function. It's going to return the data to a variable or to a print statement. Okay, I will show you with example. And remember, in one function, you can't use print statement and return statements together. You can use any one only. So same thing I can do here. Return is keyword, okay? Return. The same thing I want to do. But when it will work for you? Now, if you try this, it won't give you any output, Deepa. It won't give you any output because of the return statement. What do you need to do? Either you need to store it in a variable and you need to print that variable. Okay, now it printed. Or you can pass that function to the print statement directly in this way. Okay.
Okay.
This is the difference between print and return. If you give print, it's going to print the data directly to the console. But if you give return, you should assign that to a variable and then print, or you should print the data with the help of print statement. Okay.
Okay.
Understood, right?
Understood.
Now let us take one example and with which we can do like by passing the parameters. Okay. I want to do addition of two numbers. How we can do here my requirement. So let's try to analyze. So I want to do addition of two numbers. So I need two parameters. Okay. So def and my function name is addition. Here I need to pass the two parameters a comma b. Okay. What I need to do? I need to return a plus b. Correct? Correct, Deepa?
Yeah.
Now you define the function, that's fine. Now you should assign, you should pass data to this variable in the form of a comma b, right? Because we are passing two parameters and we should pass. Okay, so a is equals to, you can say take some data, b is equals to, you can take some data, and then you can call the function. Print addition of a comma b. It returned you 9. Let me explain you how it will work. Now you can take anything here, okay? Num1, num2, num1. So first, what will happen? So this is the calling function. Okay, you are calling your function here. If you want to assign that to a variable, you can assign it. So what's happening here? So you are calling the function here. So you took two variables. That's when you want to do addition of these two numbers. Okay. For the addition of two numbers, you define code in a function called addition. That's why instead of printing directly, we are calling this function here, addition. So whenever you call a function, what will happen, you know? So it will go to this function definition, okay? It will go to the function definition. And num1 in place of a, okay, whatever the value you have in num1 will assign here. So what is the value I have in num1? 4, right? Then a value will become 4, comma. What is the num2 value? It's 5. So it will assign that to b. B is equals to 5. It will become like this. And then it will do a plus b, 4 plus 5, and it will return for 9 for you. This is how it's gonna work. Okay, so in the first parameter that you passed while calling the function is num1, and the value in num1 will assign to a, and the value in num2 will assign to b. If you have c, if you do a plus b plus c, okay, c value will become 6. Based on position, it will assign Deepa. Okay, if you change the position, okay, first if you give num3, okay, and the value of a will become 6. Okay, the value of c become 4. So based on the position, if you passed num3 first, then the value in num3 will assign to a. Then num2, value of num2 will assign to b. Num1, value of num1 will assign to c. Okay,
Okay.
and see you got the output 15. 4 plus 5 plus 6, it's 15. Okay,
Okay.
this is how the function is going to work. And if you have, you can use print statement. I already told, no, you can use either print statement or return. So if you use print a plus b plus c, just you need to call it addition num1 comma num2 comma num3. Save it, run it. Yeah, you got 15. Okay,
Yeah.
so your assignment is to write a function to check if the number is even or not, and write a function to print all the even numbers from a list. Okay, write a function to print all the odd numbers from a list. See, at the time you are going to pass a list to the function. Okay, this is my function, print even. Okay, for this one you are going to pass the list, remaining thing as it is, and after defining the program you are going to define the code and all, right? Finally you are going to define your list here, right, with some data. Okay, and that list you are going to pass to this print even of L you are going to pass while calling it. This is how. Okay,
Okay.
you can try.
Okay.
Yeah, this is about functions.
Can I
Any-
even do it in Jupyter? I have to do it in this.
Wherever you want to do, you can, Deepa. But better if you start using Visual Studio Code, that I can say.
Okay.
Any doubts?
No, Manasi.